So you can see from the trail there's this area that's blocked off like this, and that's because those two little mounds right there are graves of people. There's another one over there. This is an older style. I'm not sure when they stopped doing this, but it's to protect the burial site. I'm not sure if this is part of the military part of the trail. Like, the military don't practice up here, but at one point they did. And so there is a little farther down the trail, if I remember right, there's like a military obstacle course, because this isn't a house, these are steps, and then that's like a little area maybe somebody could stand on while the troops were standing here listening to them. I don't know. Anyways, I gotta get hiking. All those solar panels. Like, I know most like apartment buildings have them, but there's so many. Just found that pavilion. Took a few pictures. Oh, there's the cemetery. Okay, once I get closer, I'm going to try to take a quick side trail to show you the massive cemetery. I couldn't remember where it was. I've got like a half hour to get where I need to get, and I think I have like a good hour of hiking. I should be fine light-wise. But I'll see you soon. It's like, why can't I find the side trail? It's because they tried to block it off so they don't have like a bunch of random people coming in here. But you know, humans are humans, they're gonna do whatever they want. But yeah, this is the cemetery, and like, you can't even see the full effect of it from where I'm standing, because over around this area there's a valley, and they're all in the valley, and then there's a bunch of them over there. But yeah, anyways, this is one of the ways that people are buried now. But I think a lot of people get cremated just because there's not a lot of space, and to bury people like this, if I remember right, is like really expensive compared to cremation. Now, I meant no disrespect by taking pictures or a little bit of photo of that cemetery. I just wanted to kind of show a little bit of the cultural differences between where I'm from in the like back in the US to here. You know, they have a little bit different ways of doing things, just like any culture would. Sorry about that. I was trying to get down from where I was. I had to do things. So anyways, I guess the point was, it's like, I mean, it's a massive cemetery, but like, what I find intriguing is, for us, we just do like a tombstone if the person's not being cremated, at least where I live in America, and I imagine most places. But here they have like a little tomb, it looks like, above ground, and I think the coffin goes in there. I'm not sure if it's like buried below the ground, but some of the, I'll have to get some old footage I've taken before, but some of the tombs, they have like the markers, and sometimes the markers are in Korean, sometimes they're in Chinese, depending on how old they are. I gotta say that. And some of them, the stonework on the tomb or the gravesite is also carved with like tigers and dragons. So that's kind of neat. So I couldn't finish my thought because there's a couple of hikers coming down, and I still feel a little awkward talking and walking in front of people, even if they can't understand what I'm saying, and they're probably just thinking I'm crazy for it. But anyways, so another reason why I wanted to show you the cemetery a little bit was because earlier I showed you one of the older tombs. Now again, I'll have to do some research on like how old those are, and kind of like the differences of what the old, like really old ones look like compared to what maybe the newer ones look like. And I think the new ones are like, again, I'll have to do research, like maybe 1900s, maybe 1950s or sooner. But anyways, like I said before, I need to get my butt hiking. It's been an awesome day so far, and I'm loving it. Actually, there is a trail ahead to go out here. Now, I saw a car earlier on the end of the cemetery I was at, so I'm gonna try to not stay here for long. Oh yeah, you can really see how big this place is. Here's one that I was talking about that's got like tigers, and then if it's true to what I remember, oh, I don't want to show the name. Okay, there's also dragons on the other side. So I made it to the Solmaru Bridge. I have, I think, about a kilometer to go to the park. So yay! Okay, not going to be looking because I'm going down some stairs, so if it chops off my head, so be it. But yeah. Done. Okay, see if I can get it. There you go. Alright, so the sun is starting to get behind the mountains a bit. It's really pretty. Actually, I mean, on film it's just like a big white blob, but it looks beautiful. Alright, let's do this. Let's get across the bridge. So I'm filming on my phone now because I didn't charge my battery beforehand for my Sony RX, and I didn't bring a battery pack. Because honestly, I didn't think I would film so much. But yeah, it's going to get noisy with traffic because it's going over a main road. But sorry for the shakiness. We're going to cross this. if the locals know best that actually hike up here. But I'm trying to get to the south gate of Little San Grand Park. And oh, hold on. 나무, 네. 죄송합니다. Okay, I made it to the south entrance. The guy that tried to help point me in the right direction, he was trying to point me to the main gate, but I want to go to the south gate because there's a Christmas light display in the south gate. And so I didn't get very far. I'm gonna put the clip in there. I didn't get very far before he like comes rushing up the mountain. He's like, wait, and like south gate, this way, because he told me to go the wrong way. It was all in Korean, and I'm not fluent in Korean, not by any stretch of imagination, but when it's in certain contexts, you can tell what's going on. So then he kind of led me down to the south gate area, and so I am back on track, and I made it off the trail, well, the forest part of the trail in time, and now I'm gonna go catch some Christmas lights.